Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Survivor B&B for episode 7 of Survivor season 44. I'm your host, Liana Boraas, and here to play some games and talk a little bit about the show. Now you hear my voice, not Mike's. He's not with us this week, but don't worry. We have a fantastic panel to hold all these things down as we talk and unpack a week of Survivor. It was a lot. We're going to get into everything from the format and the game decisions and everything Frankenship. First, let me bring in the Franny to my Matt. Or do you want to be Matt? Oh, we'll figure it out. Anyway, it's my co-host of the Masked Singer podcast, the 90 Day Fiance, RHAP Up, and you hear him all over Big Brother and Survivor coverage. It is Pooya. How are you?
Delightful, confused, shocked, feeling many feelings this week, but I am happy to be here. And don't think I see you, Mike. I feel like you planned this, putting us in this episode to talk about. Because what happened? What was
I feel
this?
Like you knew. It's like I don't want to talk about this week.
Got the sixth sense to him.
Yes. Well, we have a wonderful guest here for you today. He is a well-known Survivor YouTuber. He makes insightful and entertaining videos about Survivor as well as Big Brother. I've been a fan of his videos for years, and I always learn something new from them. It's the one, the only Peridiam. Welcome to the B&B.
Oh wow, thank you, Liana. That sounded so flattering. It almost as if it was written by a bot or something. I don't know.
That's so weird that you would say that it was written by an AI, because I totally came up with that all on my own.
That's how it works, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys for having me, or should I say thank you, Liana, and Mike from wherever he is out in the world. But I'm happy to be with Pooya because like we've pretty much streamed and played games for years, and like this honestly is just like basically sitting around and hanging out and talking about an episode of Survivor for an hour and a half, which we kind of do sometimes anyway, or other things. So for me, it's just like another Sunday or Saturday or whatever.
Yeah,
exactly.
And the only difference is this is archived for people to hear. So.
That's true.
Yes, other people will listen. So, you know.
Well,
Let's not be
we'll be
cute
on our
about
best
it.
behavior.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. All right. Okay. Oh my God. All right. Where do we even begin? Okay. So needless to say, this was a controversial episode. We're going to talk about
You know where we begin? We begin by just downing a beer, just ending it.
Or something harder.
Because what the hell was this, Survivor?
Okay, yes, that's
Sorry,
that's a
I
great way
cut
to
you
start.
off. I just had to finish this beer. It's not even a beer; it's a root beer, and it's a zero sugar root beer too.
Does that change it?
Wow.
So like, not even gonna be.
I mean, you know, I don't know what it changes, but it means
know,
there's less sugar in my body right now.
Aspartame.
There was a fraudulent merge. It's a fraudulent beer. It's on point. Okay.
It's thematic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's merge, faux merge. I mean, I don't know. Peridiam is a someone who not only talks about the show, but also thoroughly digs into every little aspect. Would you call this, like, are we merged? Like, do you consider this to be a merge, even though the fact that we haven't had one vote where everyone is eligible?
Okay, so like technically we did merge.
Okay, yeah.
They're all in one beach. They
Uh-huh.
are all technically voting almost together. I wouldn't call it a mergatory. They do have a merge tribe. We did get a segment for a minute about them just naming the tribe. So there is a tribe, although nobody seems to be on it in this episode. But there's a merge tribe, but they're not voting together, but they're all at the same tribal council together, but half of them can't talk. And 7 of them are immune. 4 people are voting. I don't know. Honestly, this is it's unprecedented. That's for sure. As far as like, this is a twist we've seen on Survivor for sure. We've seen this happen. This isn't like the first rodeo of this twist, but the way it's shaken up is unusual. And also, I think the worst part and the most unusual part of it all is like the timing in the season. As far as like last week, they did everything like an episode late. So we're kind of in this weird, everything, it just doesn't feel like it's synced up correctly. And I think it's left some people who aren't thinking about this super critically a little bit flustered and flabbergasted and exhausted. It's just utterly complicated for the sake of it. That's what I'm at.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Pooya, what's your reaction? Do you feel utterly flabbergasted?
Yeah, I mean, there were more people voting at the last Soka tribal than this tribal, and this is the merge. They were in the merge. Everyone's here, and it just felt like you threw this in a Brant Steel and it spat out a formula for you to use. It really didn't feel like it. Here's my beef, right? Here's my beef, and I don't have a lot of beef typically. I'm a very peaceful boy. I really like this cast. Let them cook. Let them cook. They are more than capable of giving us entertaining season. We're seeing these moments of them interacting that are just more entertaining than anything. You know what the biggest proof of this is? Literally, was it 2 weeks ago, we had an episode where there was no tribal because someone had to get medically pulled from the game. And I would argue that was the best episode of the season. It was so much fun. There was a lot of intrigue. There were laughs. There were emotions. It was brilliant. And what was the key there? The cast was left to cook. And here, I feel like the cast is getting cooked by getting all of these barriers thrown in front of them, things getting thrown left and right, new advantage gets chucked in the middle. You have to use this for some reason. Oh, you don't get a say in tribal because you're safe, except for one of you that gets one of the 18 billion keys we have hidden this jungle for you to go find. Why?
I thought you weren't that negative on it,
Yeah.
I have one beef, and this is the beef.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a huge beef.
It's not a little patty. It's not like a little slider. It's like a big filet mignon steak worth of beef, but it's still
the
beef.
The whole cow.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I think that so at the crux. Okay, all right, hold on. Let me restart. So I overall have been trying to take this new era, much like Pooya's beef, by the horns. Okay, let's have fun. Let's try to put aside all of the weirdo, wacko things that we're doing and try to embrace these really fun twists. This episode broke me. It genuinely broke me. I got mad. I usually listen to Know-It-Alls the next day. I turned it on. Within 5 minutes, I had to turn it off. I got re-mad from the episode. And I was trying to understand why. And I think, of course, there's the balance of the twists and the game mechanics to just letting the cast cook. But I think what really pushed it over the edge was how much nonsense. Shenanigans. How many shenanigans? It was they shenaniganned and then they shenaniganned again. It was just over and over and over again, because I tried to write down all of the game format twists that we saw, right? Okay, so first, you have a merged tribe split into 2 teams of 5. Okay, so that's issue number 1. That's a deviation. Then you have Carson, who then is just the odd man out. So it's all right, well, what do we do with him? I don't know. We did it at 11, so we don't have even teams. Fine, just have him back a team. Fine. Then you have the fact that, okay, fine, one person from each of the groups wins immunity. We've seen that before, right? We've seen that frequently on Survivor. No, but now on top of that, we're going to add the fact that the last person that survives wins immunity for their whole tribe. Oh, then on top of that, we're going to split them into 2 different groups. Oh, then on top of that, we're going to add this reward that is, Heidi finds with the whole key thing with the Dungeons and Dragons and looking for magical items in the jungle. And then that is an advantage which has to be used in this episode, which takes away the vote from one of the 5 people that can vote in this tribal council. So it just felt like so many things on top of one another. And I think that at the crux, that's really what got me, is that individually, each of these items by itself maybe doesn't bother me as much as the sum of all of them together, all in the same episode. And I already feel better after going on that rant. So thank you.
Of course. No, I mean, I imagine I've been on the podcast with Melissa Denny before when we've done the stock watch for Big Brother. It's very exciting to listen to Melissa go on. So by all means, I mean, Pooya, you're doing it too. I love it. I mean, I had that too. I did something unusual that I've never done since I started tweeting and talking on social media since season 35, way back in 2017, which is every single week I would tweet live on my Twitter about my thoughts as the episode was rolling out. And this episode, I actually went into it, and usually it takes me a good 5-10 minutes into the episode to get a tweet going, to get some thoughts rumbling around before I'm like, I'll lock in on that one. I'll send that one out, leave that one in the drafts. I decided not to go on Twitter for no reason, just arbitrarily. I'm just not going to do it right now. I'm just going to have a good time. And after 5 to 10 minutes, I felt comfortable enough that I was like, enough time has passed. I think I'm okay. And then I didn't go on at all. And, I did listen to the Know-It-Alls after. And, Rob's usually fair and balanced. He tries to be pretty even keeled as best he can. I get it. And I was like, yeah, okay. And my wife was with me and she was watching. Her name is also Carolyn, by the way, Team Carolyn in this household.
Yes.
We went into this season. I was like, I hope Carolyn does good by your name on this season because I'm Billy and we don't have a great track record in Survivor. I mean, it's very memeable, but you know,
It's romantic.
it's yeah, sure. Absolute romance. Let's just say this: I have an upcoming video on cringe, and Billy almost made the thumbnail. So put some respect on his name. I can't help myself. But I didn't tweet, and I decided not to tweet, and I haven't tweeted my thoughts, knowing I was going to be here, because I just didn't feel like spoiling, but partially for everyone out there who's listening to the B&B and doesn't know my thoughts. I am also making a video on this episode, conveniently, because there was enough to talk about. Whereas last week, I felt so indifferent to like Josh going. I felt like that was just an episode of Survivor that happened, and I won't remember almost anything that happened other than Josh went and he was in a feud with Jam Jam. This episode, I felt like a lot of things, and there was a lot to talk about. So I prefer that overall. So I am making a video on that, but I just want to say that I am a mixed bag walking into this. I think that there's some things that I'm numb to it, so I'm okay with it happening. And then there are some things that, yeah, like everyone's been saying all week, like this is unnecessary. And for me, like the biggest question isn't like the twist itself, it's the timing of it and the decision to go forward with it and the necessity to have it in the first place. I don't think that in and of itself, what they did here is god awful. I think that we've seen it's a tribe swap. They did a tribe swap in the post merge. It's
Right.
a bunch of people get shuffled up and one of them wins immunity and the other doesn't. But because it's post merge, they get to go to tribal council together so that everyone gets to see what's going on because they're all on the jury. That's actually not a bad thing. I prefer that over 41, 42, 43, 39, 36. They've all done this twist. And half the tribe didn't even know what happened. Like the tribe of men on 42 had no idea what went down with Omer and with Drea and Marianne playing their idols together. It was all word of mouth after. That was like the most impactful and momentous tribal council of the season, at least from our perspective. But half the tribe didn't know. It didn't matter to them because they weren't there. So in this regard, I looked at this episode and went, that's actually a good thing. That's a positive. Like the fact that they all got to be there. I mean, but then I'm also like, yeah, but it's the merge. They should all be there regardless. Why is that like something I should be giving them their kudos? All the people went to tribal council because the bar has been lowered, that I'm now excited for something like that. And I'm trying to like speak highly of it. It's a silver lining on an otherwise dark cloud. And I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to look at the silver lining, but honestly, like we're looking at a dark cloud here. And this is a bit of an accumulation up to this point of the producers are just trying to make every episode its own thing. Instead of letting the players cook, letting the cast just naturally fall into the roles that they find themselves in because they were thrown onto a beach. It just feels like every episode in the new era, Jeff, in the downtime between 40 and 41, has been like, how can we make every single episode as reverse engineered into a good episode as possible? Instead of just hoping that it will be good by default, because naturally Survivor is just interesting. You cast great, interesting people that want to play and are funny and have interesting backstories. You put them all together, they're wacky, they do crazy things, and you get good TV regardless. But Jeff's like, we don't trust that. We're going to put 15 keys in the jungle and see who can unlock the new birdcage and then nullify everybody else's idol and parchment on the purple tribe, but Heidi gets to keep, hers works, nobody else's. Carolyn's idol can't be played on Jam Jam, which I thought would have been really interesting. It's all very arbitrary, and it's reduced Survivor to a state of almost scripting it. It's not there, but you give it like 10 seasons, it could get to a point where it's basically written by Chat GPT.
Well, first of all, I'm happy that you're making a video on this because your videos are well produced and visually appealing, which makes them very enjoyable to watch. So I think that's going to be a really good addition to explore further into this episode.
I have to say, I do try to take it lighter when I go on, and I'm going to save a lot of these thoughts for my review video at the end of the season. I don't want to cloud it too much because honestly, we're going to be on this podcast for an hour and a half, and we could easily sit here and talk about this for an hour and a half. I don't want an hour and a half YouTube video. So yeah, I do cut out a little bit of this. But still, it's here. It's internalized.
So one quick question though is you're talking about the timing. So are you saying that you would have preferred this, like you're okay with this if it had happened, or maybe you would have been more okay with this if it had happened at a different time in the season?
Yeah, I mean, like in the previous seasons, they've given us a few episodes of the merged players doing their thing for a couple of votes, like in Ghost Island. And then they did this twist. But we had a 13, a 12, and 11 episode. We had 3 straight episodes of them figuring it out. And then it led to the split. And honestly, the split was probably the best episode of the merge up to that point with what people won't remember this, but like what Wendell did on that episode was incredible. And that was to me really interesting stuff there. And it was probably better than what the 3 episodes prior. In this case, like we're already 2 episodes into the merge. We still haven't had a single episode of them actually merging and doing anything together. We're getting glimpses of it. So for me, I'm like, I think it wasn't necessary on the season at all. But the fact that the producers felt like this had to happen because they've already preordained it was going to happen. I'm like, I don't want them to just take the season as it's going and say, well, we have these twists. We're not going to use these twists that we've already thought about doing because of what's happening. It almost feels like they could do what they did with like Ben and be like, oh, we're going to do the fire now because we want to see Ben possibly win, as opposed to like, regardless of who's there. I just feel, yeah, I think that timing wise, it doesn't work out. It's unfortunate, but it's also like, you just didn't have to plan this at all. Get rid of it. Do it every couple of seasons at best. It's currently getting predictable where you already know, like coming up in the next probably 2 episodes, we're going to get like a variation of do or die / choose your champion. That's going to come up. I don't think it'll be do or die, but it'll be choose your champion. It's going to happen. Like you can already predict. It's like, it's getting to Big Brother levels. It's getting to Big Brother levels where
Knocking on
Say
wood.
that.
Yeah.
Knocking on wood.
I say this with
At
Big
your
Brother.
home.
I go like, if you're a fan of Big Brother and you're going to play on a season, all you have to do is study how they roll out the season week by week. You can easily predict what's going to be going down. You can't exactly predict the twist, but Survivor has now gotten to that point. They are basically not scripting it, but they've rolled out like episode to episode, beat by beat, week by week, as opposed to just letting them do their thing. It's not pretty.
Expect the unexpected, right? That's
And
what
then he
we
says
learned.
that. I was thinking that. I was watching the episode, I'm like, this feels like it's like a Big Brother episode.
Yep.
And then he said, I'm like, oh no, he took the wrong lessons from Julie Chen. If he
As
says,
opposed to the right lessons, yes.
I
if he
mean,
walks out of it and says like, be kind to one another or whatever as they're walking away instead of like good night.
love each other.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Also, safety without power just also sounds like a Big Brother thing. Like it just
Control
sounds
of
like something.
vote.
Control of vote, exactly. Yeah, those things. Oh boy. Well, Pooya, is there any other things that you want to say about the format? Because I do want to talk a little bit about some of the individual decisions that different players made. Because, okay, now that we've kind of gotten that out of our systems in terms of the game format, we can talk some individual things. But Pooya, I want to give you a chance to join in.
We might as well slide on into it because I'm sure there's stuff for me to say and I don't want to end up repeating myself there. So we can dive into the individual.
I think that's generally, it's like, look, a sense of frustration, doing too much, not letting the players cook. Like, yeah, maybe there's individual ways to tweak certain things, but like that, I think is where a lot of the source of the frustration.
I think if there wasn't like 40 seasons to dwell on, I generally was like, when I approached it, flushing my brain, I actually was like mildly entertained at times.
Right.
But then I'm just like, I've got all this going in. I know so much. It's just, it's compounding and it's a little off and awful. But anyway.
Right. No, totally. I think this, what helped me to process was to think about like, okay, let's assume that those 40 seasons of Survivor didn't exist, right? You don't have those to compare to. Okay, now let's look at it with the players that we have and the decisions that we made. Like, I know, one of the decisions, which maybe feels a little bit more cut and dry, but like Franny, she had the opportunity to throw it and potentially save Matt, right? Where then she herself still has immunity, but she can save her best friend and take a shot on Danny. That is a decision that probably, if you're not in the adrenaline, she probably didn't have time to process. But I could imagine, and we hear in her confessional afterwards that she said, look, I almost would rather be able to put pen to parchment and have Matt be safe than to have us all be immune. But one of the most important decisions, I think, is what Heidi did with this advantage. Because me, myself, and I also was like, Heidi, you fool. What have you done? You could have put the votes on Lauren. When you go to the split a vote or the revote, she can't vote, which takes away her extra vote, assuming that she used it right. I think that they worked through this on the feedback show with Christian Hubicki, where essentially what happens is if the votes end up on Lauren, Lauren uses her extra vote. It ends up with a 3-3 tie. But then when Lauren is taken out of the equation, it based on the steal vote, you end up at
this is like Jeff with the chalkboard at Cambodia.
Exactly.
Where
We're going to write everything up.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's obviously one option.
Right.
Another thing that I thought about, and I got this from re-listening to the episode. These are the words, and I wrote down some quotes from Heidi. What I heard Heidi say, Matt is dangerous. Franny is close to Matt. And Franny's close to Matt, and Franny is my girl. So separating them helps to bring Franny closer to Heidi if she can get rid of Matt. And she said, Jam Jam could be a closer ally to me than Matt. I have to use this in a way that I gain friends rather than enemies. And thinking about it from that perspective, I almost feel like, okay, maybe Heidi's decision made sense because it looks like she's trying to protect Matt, but inadvertently ends up sending him home, which is what she wanted. I don't know. Maybe there's something there. Pooya, can you help me take this apart? Does that make sense?
Yeah, because the other option would have been to either put the vote directly on Matt, therefore showing your hand of what you want, and then causing the strain with Franny,
right?
Or taking a shot at Ratu, which would potentially push that agenda and make it a bit of a war. Putting the vote on Jam Jam, if your objective truly is to get rid of Matt, it's risky because there is a chance that Jam Jam goes, because potentially, but do you think you can work with Jam Jam after the fact? And I think there is a clip at the start of this episode that could allude to Jam Jam, of all people, as someone who will be fine, right? Jam Jam comes back to from Tribal, says, listen, I know some of you voted for me. I don't want the vibes to be off here. Let's just forget, move on. Makes a tongue-in-cheek joke about, if you voted for me, you're dead to me. Perfect. Jam Jam's the one person that could potentially get it, and it could work out. Now, granted, this seemed like a very scary Tribal to be a part of, right? It's you, it's Matt. You think one of you is done no matter what. You see a vote come for you already. Matt's voting for you already. You start getting nervous. So maybe this will be a little bit of a shock. But I do think if you are looking at it from the perspective of, this was to make Franny happy, this was to say, hey, Ratu, I didn't vote for you. That's the thing. I could see it, but also you are relying a lot on the fact that Ratu won't see it as still a slight that you took Lauren's vote. You're going to see it as Lauren, who you were bonding with last episode, is not going to see it as a slight on her that you took her vote. And then Jam Jam is not going to see it as a slight that you put the vote on him. So that's a lot of moving parts, but also I hate that she was forced to do something anyway. She had to use this vote. She couldn't do anything else. She had to control someone's vote, and ends up making a decision that, could be looked at very poorly, because obviously the alternative to keep both Matt and Jam Jam would have been to go after Lauren there probably, but then you're starting a whole war. Maybe you're going to put yourself on the radar. Maybe the move is, hey, on the surface, I look like a dummy, and that's perfect. Let them think I'm a dummy. They're not going to come after me. And that's strategy in and of itself. I don't know. There's many ways you can look at it.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen a lot of Heidi, so I don't have a great read on exactly how her strategic acumen and what, and because she does outline a little bit, she does ultimately say, like you said, going into the tribal council, I would rather make friends than enemies, which I think is actually a pretty understandable thing to do. You're at the final 11. You've still got a long way to go. You got a lot of people to get through. They haven't really locked down. They're still kind of up in the air. They just had a split with the Josh vote as far as the tribe, and now they're at another split, so they still haven't fully solidified where they're at. You'd rather have options than closed doors before you even get to the idea of what's in front of you. So Heidi's just trying to keep her doors open and not piss too many people off or anyone off. Honestly, I was like, could she just throw it in the ocean? Is that the optimal move?
Eat it.
Why not? Is she forced to use it? I would do what they did in Gabon. They found an idol and they said, meh, don't want it. Not us.
Lost it.
This ain't us. Although, to be fair, I think Marcus could have used it because he gets voted out that episode. But, it is what it is. But still, I'm looking at it the best move might be to just do nothing and just keep it in your pocket and say, but obviously that could look bad because then there are people who are hoping you do use it to, because you, as we've outlined, Heidi could have controlled basically knowing the social dynamics of the 5 that were voting. She could have gotten Lauren out and got burned her extra vote and eliminated her. Mathematically, that was a possibility. If she wanted to make a move, keep Matt, keep Jam Jam, and get a Ratu out. The question I have is like maybe keeping the 3 Ratu plus Kane in the game at the final 10 is a good opposition. Like that's a wall. That's a meat wall of people. You could use that and group the other 6 possibly. You have Danny. You got Soka, and then you've got Jam Jam, Carolyn, and Carson. 3 and 3, 6 beats 5 with the extra vote still in the game. Makes sense to me. I'm like, no. I think, honestly, numerically, summing it all up, I had no problem with what Heidi did. I've seen some people say on Reddit, like, this is one of the worst moves, bottom 10 worst moves. And I went, no?
There's plenty more.
I'm sorry. Did I miss the memo? Because to me, I'm like, she is trying to make friends. I feel like the super fan would just go for it and just guns blazing and then get voted out in 10th or 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th. You want to play the long game, like Cliff Hogg and Big Brother 21. You want to do the, I know, right? What a random, what a deep pull.
Heidi is just like Cliff Hogg.
Heidi, there's a complete perfect circle on this Venn diagram.
Yeah.
I look at his move in Big Brother 21 where he could have made an early move in the pre-jury, but he chose to play the long game and got him to the point where he almost won. And he's like this old guy who was at the bottom, voted out even. Spoilers for Big Brother 21. Sorry, everyone out there. 30 minutes into the 44 podcast. But I didn't have any problems with this numerically, because if she puts the vote on Jam Jam, she doesn't control the vote. If she puts the vote on Matt, she doesn't control the vote. It doesn't matter. She doesn't get to decide who goes. The only way she can truly decide is if she puts the vote on Lauren from Brandon or Jamie. So to me, if she wants to actually decide what's going down, she's going to take the vote and put it on Lauren. If she doesn't, she'll do anything else. And at that point, Jeff Probst, it's effing trivial. It's a waste of time. It's not an exciting moment to me. When you break it down, you peel it apart, you realize this is just like Jeff just trying to get an exciting moment out of anybody by hiding keys in the forest and then saying nobody else can use their advantage but the person who finds the advantage. And it doesn't matter. And also there's an extra vote in play, which means that it kind of almost negates itself. It almost does. Technically it doesn't. This is just like a lot of talk about nothing in a way, because like it didn't matter mathematically. So people are like, this is one of the dumbest moves ever. I'm like, no, I don't think it was. And maybe we'll see next episode. Everyone's mad at Heidi and that's the narrative they go with. And it turns out this was the dumbest move and she gets voted out in 10th. But I just walked out of it just thinking like, man, that was a nothing burger. It's just another nothing burger.
It was the most easiest way to burn it if she was not trying to use it.
Yeah,
right?
it was
that's the biggest indicator to me, is that was so clearly the easiest way to burn this without getting any
blood on your hands.
Blood on your hands, basically. Yeah, not to go Big Brother again. But yeah, I think that ultimately, was it a good move? No. Was it a bad move? No, it wasn't a move, period.
It was just okay.
I'm someone who sat there on Wednesday night being like, Heidi, you've had no visibility till now, and the one time you step up, this is what you do. So I really, in the beginning, thought, nah, this was a bad move. But also, in talking about it more, let's see what if they show us. We'll find out. When they show us.
I could be wrong. I'm like,
who knows? We could be. Yeah,
there's so much withheld information here, and we don't know exactly whose relationship is with who, and they still haven't voted together as a group. I don't know what people are going to think about this, what the players are. So like we could come back and it turned out it really was a terrible idea not to do that. But like if Jam Jam and Carolyn are at the bottom, as we've seen, they're kind of have the loosest, the weakest connections. On the surface, it looks like she's basically just going against them, which is like the status quo.
Right. And I think that that's the thing, is that, okay, if your goal was to get rid of Jam Jam, clearly this didn't work. Okay. So then you would look at it and you would say, ew, bad move. Like you didn't get rid of Jam Jam and you didn't save Matt. Right. So if that was your goal, to get rid of one and save the other, clearly you didn't accomplish that. But when I hear her speak and I hear her motivation was not to save Matt. I don't think Matt's really dangerous. I need to be closer to Franny. I have to get rid of Matt. That's what I hear. So if that is her goal to get rid of Matt, then I think she did the right thing. And I think the reason why maybe she took Lauren's vote is because they are the closest and she feels like she can repair that relationship.
Potentially. I mean, this is the same season where someone chose to use the shot in the dark in the first episode, and everyone's like, oh my God, mastermind, what an amazing move. He did it so that he doesn't have to show his hand and vote. Let's wait and see what Heidi says. Maybe they won't even show us because they're not showing us Heidi, but I don't agree with it that it's a bottom 10 like worst moves of all time.
I think it's
at all.
Close.
I did it first. I was like, you're
I
dumb.
thought similarly watching it live, yes, but I think there's more to it.
About it. Exactly. Once I thought about it, and once I started to put things in perspective of like really what her goal was, because when you look at it initially, like, oh, her goal is to save Matt. Like, obviously she did the opposite thing. It didn't help, and this was terrible. Why didn't you take a shot at Ratu? But then it's like, okay, that wasn't her goal. What was she trying to accomplish? Oh, actually, this kind of makes sense once you start to think about her perspective and what she was actually trying to do, not what I thought she was trying to do. Right? If that makes sense. So
it does. I do. I think that, and I will say, a silver lining here. I think this is actually, when I sat down and tried to break it down numerically and look at the motivations and the balancing act that Heidi is faced with. I mean, I said like maybe just throw it backwards and not forwards. Just throw it into the ocean behind you and just don't get involved. Yeah. That sometimes can be the best thing. Reduce your target, but. I find this interesting. I find it interesting to sit down and try and observe, like, you have to make a move against somebody and there are like 3 factions in play and you've got all these different allies potentially who are hanging on your move. And, obviously the 5 voting don't know that she's going to do this, but she's sitting there on the bench with her hands going like, what do I do? Who do I use this on? Do I burn Soka? Do I burn Franny? Do I do a non-move? Do I make a move without actually doing anything? I do find that compelling. I find that that's like, you're trying to position yourself for the future. And as she says, she's looking for friends, not enemies. I personally don't have a problem with it. I didn't really ever, I also was just like, it's just Jeff like inserting. I said in my video, I'm like, let them play their advantages that they have. They have idols. I would love to see Carolyn stand up and say, I'm playing an idol on Jam Jam. If they're truly merged, let them interact. That would be really fascinating.
That.
I would have loved it too. And there was all these tears and emotions and they're crying on the bench and Franny and Carolyn are sitting there and they're like watching as their loved ones are like getting bombarded and somebody has to lose. And I also want to just say, as much complaining as we've done, I hate when Jeff sits there and is like, turns to the camera, but he's talking to them. He's like, and that's what makes Survivor. The stakes are so. I'm like, you don't need to explain it to us, dude.
We know. We've been here.
I was sitting here enjoying that moment, and then he told me what it was, and I was like, well, now I don't enjoy it as much. It feels like you are like.
With the feel.
Yeah, I just thought like, oh, what a kill it. You're doing that thing, Jeff, that you do that my dad does, where he's like, I'm gonna just point out the obvious. And like, oh, this is such a great moment with everyone in the group. We're all having a great time, and it's like you don't need to just let us cook.
Just let the moment.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Jeff loves to insert himself all the time.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Actually, so speaking of, no, not Jeff, but speaking of something that I do think is narratively tied to what the show is trying to say, Jeff Probst included, is that conversation with Brandon and Matt, where they were talking about, is Brandon essentially saying there's a way out of every situation, which Rob had mentioned, I believe, with Christian, that like, look, this is purposely included because this is something the show is trying to communicate, right? That they side probably with Brandon here because Brandon got the last word in that conversation, which is, yes, there is a way out of every situation. So I thought that was a very interesting
thing. And I don't think he's wrong too. I listened, I thought, oh, that's a very convenient, knowing what's about to happen here. I'm like, oh, Matt's going to get the brunt of this. He got screwed over. So they're initially inserting this scene to be like, you can get out of it, Matt. You could have done better. Like, this is not just us. Like, it's a you thing. Yeah. Like, how dare you not bring your bag to the challenge?
Dummy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what do you think a papaya is going to solve all your problems? Get it together, Matt.
Yeah, I agree.
By the way, I mean, if you're Matt in that situation, like, I'm going to Ratu and I'm being like, I am betraying Soka. They are going to be more mad at me then they will be at you. They're going to forget about you. Like, I will be a tool to help you get further in the game. Like, I think that there's a stronger argument that Matt could have made than what we see with him at the water well, which is just like, I mean, unless you guys are going to like vote out Lauren, like, why would you say that? Don't say that. Be like, they're together. Just pledge loyalty.
Right away, Brandon's like, yeah, I just want to like, there's no chance I'm voting out Lauren. Like,
yeah, that's
oh, Matt, that's so rough.
It's so awkward.
Oh, rough. Not great. Not a good response to that.
Oh, Matt.
I think he could have. I do agree with Brandon in that case. Like, even if you get put into a numerically bad spot, which we've seen since season 3 with Africa, the very first swap or shuffle or whatever, like, yeah, you can get out of it. And oftentimes it's like, it is a bit of your social play and how you get gel. And you can, if you are good enough, I feel like you probably can sell them a bill of goods for a round and promise them the moon, promise them the world. And then, it might hurt you down the line, but I watched Dan Giesling do it on Big Brother 14 on the live feeds. He lost, but
spoiler.
Hello. Yeah, it's a lot of Big Brother spoilers.
It's been a decade. If come on.
Expect the unexpected, okay?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's why I feel. I mean, I'm happy that Jam Jam ultimately ended up staying. And Pooya, I know you are too. You're a big Jam Jam fan.
I am too, by the way. I'm co-signing Pooya. I'm like totally on board. Jam Jam is like my jam.
He's so good. He's so good at diffusing tension. That was like one thing. And he also, oh my God, at Tribal Council, one of my favorite moments is when, Jeff's like, you deflect with humor. And then Jam Jam's like, this is my time to be dramatic. And then he like gets into his feelings and stuff. It's like he read the room exactly correct. Like, I can't just keep, relying on that humor. So, yeah, I'm really obsessed with Jam Jam. I think that I really want him to stay in the game because I want to see what he's going to do next. Yeah.
And like, we did love Carolyn more, but I think actually Jam Jam is passed her in this 2-horse race, which is crazy coming from, the Carolyns of the world. But I like both of them, but I really do love like Jam Jam's jokes where the way that he puts it. I'm like, oh, he's so good. He's so naturally just like dry, and his satire and his sense of humor is just, I vibe with that so well. He's like, Jam Jam means survivor in Fijian. It's like the way he says it. And everybody cracks up. I'm like, did they make the wrong move not voting out the guy who is like socially beloved? I know he doesn't have the best position in this season right now, but I don't know. I mean, I heard Matt apparently was also it was like 2 big social threats, so maybe it doesn't matter. Right. But I don't know. I'm like, Jam Jam's really, people love him out there just as much as we do.
Yeah. I also want to give credit before we talk about our preseason predictions to Carson's decision, because I haven't heard this mentioned yet, of Carson's decision of which tribe to back. I guarantee you it was based on which tribal he thought he could survive.
I agree.
Because he did not pick the side where it's a bunch of the Ratu members, where he would be the odd man out, where it would be 3-3 with an extra vote. He knows that. I guarantee he picked the side based on which tribal, not
100%.
Who do you think goes? By the way, I'm curious to know between like who do you guys remember this?
About it.
So I would be curious. I did think about this a little bit. Like, who of these 6, if they lose, is getting voted out?
Okay,
because we got 2 idols.
Heidi, Carolyn, Carson, Kane,
and Franny.
And Franny.
Who's
Franny would have won immunity, right?
She's immune.
Franny's safe.
And let's say Brandon wins instead of Franny.
I mean, Kane, right?
I thought so. I was thinking maybe. I could see a move potentially on Danny, but I do feel like that's a really big. Honestly, I think this would have been a better episode if they went, just because there were 2 idols in play, and there were 6 of them, and this was also a more cohesive group of people that we've seen. Like, these are 6 people that are somewhat working together. It almost feels like it based on the beginning of the episode. So I was just like, this would have been a really interesting like break everything open.
I think I could have seen it go where the 3, so Carson being the glue between Kane and Carolyn says, let's vote Danny. Carolyn didn't have a great impression of Danny. He's like, yeah, fine, that's fine with me. They put on Danny. Danny uses idol. Danny, Heidi, and Franny vote out Kane, and Kane's gone. Because Kane is also Ratu at the end of the day. Let's take a shot of the Ratu out. That could be the move. I do think that's probably what would have happened there. if
You're
I'm
saying that they
betting.
split votes, like the
Oh, wait.
four
Who's
split?
stealing the vote? Who's controlling whose vote?
Right. I mean, that
I
we
mean,
don't
that's
know.
like such an I have no idea. That variable is out there.
So my answer,
So who's
I'm
the best
changing it.
at Easter egg hunting on the other trial? Let's talk about that. No, okay.
Well, Brandon found the key the first time.
That's true.
Yes.
Brandon gets a leg up here in the discussion.
And he's voting for Kane.
Jamie did find the fake one though.
That's true, with Matt leading her to it, though.
So
assuming.
maybe there's a 2-horse race between who finds the right key.
Yeah, but it also felt so random. Like, it just felt
Yeah.
like you go run, you find the key.
There's 40 keys. Even if you're bad, you'll find one key, and that's
Was
all
there
you
40?
need.
Or was there 50?
I
I
thought
think
there
it
were
was
15.
There's 15.
That's
Okay, well,
why do I remember 15? I don't
Pretty
know.
much
40
the
was
same
an
thing.
exaggeration.
44
Yeah, that's
keys.
fair. That's fair.
That bucket looked like it had over 30 keys in it.
What if they got it the first time and then they're just like, oh, okay.
Like, no, you go dump some keys
Like,
into
what
it.
are
We
the
need
odds?
the B-roll.
Oh my god, that would actually be so funny. I would love it because they would try to be reusing footage, but it's like Matt finding the same key over and over again, trying to make it seem like they're different.
They'd have like the producers like Jeff like putting a keys in the bowl and then just like
Exactly.
showing his hand
the
doing
dream
it.
team, they send them out there to
Yeah.
go like find some keys.
They probably hit the key like pretty hard. It was like definitely not gonna be the first one.
yeah,
Yeah.
deeper in the jungle.
Yeah.
All right, well, we got to talk about the man of the hour. It is the one, the only Matt Blankenship, who was unfortunately voted out. Although, yeah, the Matt and Franny of it all. The fact that we got the like in memorandum black and white segment of their relationship just made me laugh so hard. So I'm equally like happy to be done with the cringe, but also sad to see them go.
They
With
were
Frank and
surprisingly
Chip,
I thought they were
any of them.
surprisingly potent for what otherwise like up to this point I wasn't fully on, like it was a very one note and I was kind of like I don't know how bothered I'm going to be when they go, but seeing Matt get ripped away and then Franny crying on the sidelines, I felt that and I was like, you know what, I can see why the fans are feeling this way. This was an emotionally investing episode on many fronts, and nonetheless, like least of all losing Matt and Franny and getting that montage. Matt's yelling into the void of Franny, bring my bag. And it's like a slow echo.
And with the drone shot too.
With the drone shot zooming out.
Yeah.
That was good.
Oh man. Okay. Pooya, let's start with Mike's prediction. I believe you have it here. Do you want to do your Mike impression for the masses?
Yeah, he emailed it to me, so I'm just gonna read it in my Mike cadence.
Perfect.
I'm gonna need absolute silence while I fall into character. Thank you. Okay. All right. Improv, New York. Asher Bloom.
At least
Lost.
he knows his son's name.
Succession. All right, I think I'm ready. You ready?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
hope so.
Hi all. I'm really sad that I have to miss this week's B&B, but I'm actually kind of excited to listen to this one rather than be a participant, just because I'm sure all three of you have such incredible and entertaining opinions about this almost indescribable episode of Survivor, between the just mess that were the twists on top of the twists, to like the palpable emotions of Matt leaving, to Frankenship confirmed on exit interviews, which was maybe one of the highlights of like my journalistic career so far. There's so much to get into, and I cannot wait to hear what the three of you have to say. But first, as I turn to my Julie Chen Moonves camera, let me get into how I thought Matt Big Dick Blankenship would do pre-season. I absolutely adore Matt. I think he is one of the purest souls to have ever played this game. I did not have the highest prospects for him pre-season. I did have him going pre-jury. I said that his goofiness will allow him to immediately bro down with Danny, while also endearing himself to Franny and Claire's nerdiness. I said his skeletal body will make him one of the hardest to fall from a lack of food, leading him to get seen by medical after passing out in a challenge. Perhaps manifesting his similarity to Eric Reichenbach, he finds an advantage only to get talked into giving it to Danny for, quote, safekeeping. And in the end, Claire gets Soka to throw a challenge to make sure that Matt doesn't make the merge. Feeling in danger, he plays his shot in the dark, which fails, meaning that Matt leaves the game never having cast a vote. Wow, that is alarmingly close to what could have happened. Anyway, Matt's closest ally was Danny, his enemy was Claire, and the randomly generated phrase for Matt was, "It's never been my responsibility to glaze the donuts." Well, I hope that this week's B&B is as sweet and delicious as some properly glazed donuts. Look forward to
Ew.
listening to it, and I'll be back next week to get into the next stage of Survivor 44 and whether or not we're ever going to get a damn merge.
And
Wow.
scene.
Great.
That was the
Thank you.
greatest impression I think I've ever heard in my life. That was
Thank you.
literally
So
Mike.
good.
That was literally Mike Bloom.
I didn't love
Yeah.
that he made me say glaze the donut twice, but you know, it is what it is.
Yes. Okay. Well, a lot to unpack there. Thank you, Pooya, for doing your Mike Bloom impression. I thought obviously the shot in the dark was pretty funny, given the fact that Matt didn't even have the option to play his shot in the dark because he didn't
My
bring his bag
God.
with him. But it is interesting to hear that Mike thought that Matt would be pre-jury, because I similarly felt that he would be pre-jury. So here are the things that I felt about Matt's chances on the show. So I said that Soka would dominate the early challenges, and while his tribe mates relaxed, this gave Matt all the anxiety, not knowing where everyone stood and if they were lying or telling the truth. This nervous energy and paranoia made him an easy target when Soka loses their first immunity challenge. I said that he would also go to Shipwheel Island, where he would risk and subsequently lose his vote, so he can't even vote in the tribal that he is eliminated. His ally was ? His enemy was Danny. So it's interesting that we had both picked up on the fact that apparently Matt was not going to vote this season. Both Mike and I felt strongly about that Matt Blankenship was not going to cast a vote.
It's funny because he couldn't even not cast a vote this time. He would have potentially thrown his vote away, but he didn't have that choice.
That actually would have been funny. The first time he gets to vote and he plays
Doesn't
a
do
shot
it.
in the
He's
dark.
like, I'm so used to not voting. I'm just not going to give voting. You know?
Just whatever. It's easier. All right, Peridiam. So it's up to you to try to guess who did better.
Guess
When it came
who
to
did
what
better.
was closest to the actual fate of Matt Big Dick Blankenship.
Yeah, who was Matt Glazing Donuts here? You know, I don't know. I did like Pooya, what he had to say there about you know, Matt going. You both were pretty similar. It was a pretty neck and neck decision between the two of what happened. I'm wondering, is Pooya going to be able to have any thoughts here, or is it all coming down to me?
It's all you, bro.
Okay. I wonder what I've done in the past too, because this isn't my first rodeo, and I do wonder if I have been unintentionally picking Mike or Liana more. But I do.
Does that matter?
No, it does. Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
It does. Okay. You usually always pick Mike, so
Do I? Oh wow.
yeah.
You know what? Let me
Favoritism.
actually check really quickly. Let me rewatch the previous ones. You know, actually, you're right. I just noticed. I'm gonna pick Liana. I'm gonna pick Liana.
Yay!
Hey, there we go.
Good
Yeah,
job,
you know,
me.
Mike, you could have had your chance here, but you said a lot of things that made me feel weird. So
Yeah,
I'm giving it
that's-
to
well-
Liana.
That's Mike in general. He says a lot of things that make you feel weird. Okay. Well, I love the fact that we're here with you today, Peridiam, because you are on the other side of the internet, YouTube. You get a lot of comments on your videos, and I feel like you are the perfect person to dive into the different responses to this episode, right? We hear three commentators talking about our opinions, but what are the
Right.
opinions of the masses? And I know you have prepared a activity for us to play, if you would like,
Yay.
about
I did.
some topics related to Survivor and potentially this episode.
Yeah. So you know, commentary is fun. I've been involved in it for a very long time, and you know, YouTube's a different story here. I am digging into the commentary, although it is a little bit more for the Redditors of the world. I do go on the Survivor subreddit all the time. I mean, I'm engrossed in pretty much all of the media except for maybe Facebook and whatever else is out there that I don't know about. But you got Survivor Twitter, you got Survivor Reddit, you got the Survivor YouTube community, and I will say in general, the Survivor YouTube community is a little bit more. I'd say they're a little less, in a weird way, they're a little less hostile towards the new era. Other than maybe the 41 stuff in the first episode, they didn't like that. They couldn't get over that for a little while. I think they've gotten
Yeah.
past that though.
Okay.
But in this case, I've put together a game that I call upvotes to the left.
Okay.
And here's how it works. And I think I'm going to make it a co-op game, although you could decide if you wanted to do a versus, but it might be more interesting. I think so. I think it'll be you two work.
No,
Okay,
you
yeah. No, I want to work together.
Oh,
I
you do want to work together.
You do.
Okay, I couldn't
Okay.
tell what that was. What
And
that
so
meant.
it's like
Okay.
you versus the game or against each other for whoever has more points.
Yeah.
I've grabbed, there's 15 rounds here, and what's going to happen is I'm going to give you a topic title that was posted on Reddit since the airing of this episode.
Okay.
You're going to have to tell me it's an A or B. Is this topic title from our Survivor or from the satirical subreddit known as our Survivor Circle Jerk?
Okay.
I don't know if Pooya heard this before we got on, because I explained this to Liana a little bit.
I didn't hear about the game format.
Okay.
No, I have heard of this subreddit, but I've not frequented this subreddit.
Okay, it's a satirical subreddit that intends to poke fun at the greater Survivor community, which could include us sometimes. They have, I've seen my name pop up from time to time, and whoever else. But the general idea is like they do tend to be contrarians and go against the grain. Sometimes for the sake of it, sometimes because like people are being dramatic and hyperbolic and melodramatic. They're just sort of we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, guys. Like, it's not the end of the world here. Like, it's one episode of Survivor, and I don't know. It is what it is. We're Survivor super fans, Big Brother fans. We love to clutch our pearls and, cry into the void. It happens. We've all been there. I've certainly been there. So in a self-effacing way, I'm going to give you guys the title, and you guys have to just decide between the two of you. Do you guys agree? Do you think this is a actual topic from our Survivor that somebody posted in earnest, or is it a satirical topic title that was posted more as for comedy? Okay.
Okay. Perfect. We are going to play co-op. And yes, so we're going to work together. And I'm excited. So essentially we have to guess, is this from the real fan subreddit or the satirical circle jerk Reddit?
Yes.
Okay, great. We can do that.
Okay, so you good to go?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. First topic title here says, "Done with Survivor after blank got voted out."
Okay, see, that's the type of stuff that I would see on both. But then, like, it depends on what the blank is.
That's true, it does, yeah.
I'm
but they did say it was blank in the topic title, so.
Yeah. Well, and then it's like whatever the fill is in the comment. Okay.
This is a tricky one, I will say. I started off with a tricky one.
I'm gonna think you're gonna start off with from the real Survivor
Interesting.
subreddit.
I disagree. I don't.
We could do a versus.
Okay, versus.
Let's do versus, because I don't think this is gonna be a post, because if the post should be, "I'm done with Survivor after blank twist," I don't think it'd be blank person, because I think of the blank persons that were up for grabs to leave here. I think Jam leaving would have got that header. I don't think Matt leaving gets that header.
Okay, so you think because it's Matt specifically, you feel like this could be more satirical than real.
And that's no offense to Matt, obviously, because I think Matt was a lot of fun on the show, but stand with what I said.
Are you saying real, Leon? You think it's from the real one?
I think it's real. Pooya's gonna say circle jerk.
Okay, so this is from the Circle Jerk subreddit.
Darn it.
And the blank
co-op. We're playing co-op.
The blank was Sonia Christopher.
Oh. Okay.
This person had it. They watched one episode. I'm out. It's over. It's too much. I can't take it. It's all downhill.
Oh, okay. This is poor game format. Just like this episode. All right. Let's keep going. Let's
Number
see how
two.
it picks up.
Survivor needs to be easier to follow while high.
Okay.
And if you've been on the Survivor subreddit or the Circle Jerk subreddit, that's kind of going to help you here. I don't know how much Pooya goes on these. I know, Liana, you said you sometimes do, and not maybe the Circle Jerk one, but Pooya, you said you don't go on the Circle Jerk. Do you go on the regular Survivor subreddit at all, by the way? By the way.
Ish. Not often. Yeah. Interesting. I feel like this could be on either. This is I mean, I know that's the name of the game, Pooya. But
we're gonna get that 15 times.
Yeah, exactly.
Survivor needs to be easier to follow while high.
Okay, Pooya, you answer first because I answered first on the other one.
I'm gonna stay with the squad over on the CJ Circle Jerk.
Okay, I'm pretty sure this is real. The real Survivor.
Okay, the answer is it was real.
I should have.
Not a joke.
Yes.
Damn.
We're all even, 1-1.
Okay, I'm coming
Okay.
to
I'll
get
tell you
ya.
this: it would be very tough to follow this while on a gummy. I don't.
It's
think
a
I
fun
could do
thread.
it.
If you click on it, the person outlines like they said like trying to understand like the Nasir vote out on 41 with like Shan's extra vote. This is like it was
Just
couldn't
too
do it.
complicated.
Yeah, I mean
Well,
that's
I think because I think I saw that one. It was also like, but the emotional like stuff from Matt and Jam Jam was very heartwarming. I was like, oh,
yeah. Okay, number 3. Anyone else getting Harry Potter vibes?
That's it. That's the whole.
That's the
title?
topic. I was just like, what?
That's real. That's real.
You think it's
that's,
real?
That's
Okay.
real Survivor. Yes.
Like Carson. Is it about Carson?
I don't know.
So it's about Sonia Christopher. Come
It's
on.
about-
we're-
Yeah.
It's-
Okay. All right. I'm gonna say circle jerk then.
The answer is real. Pooya gets the point.
What was it about?
It was comparing, Carson, Harry Potter. I don't know, like Hagrid, maybe Jam Jam or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, what a
Cave,
random
the troll in
topic.
the dungeon.
Yeah. Who's the Dumbledore in this
I mean,
season?
is it Probst?
Probst? I guess. Yeah, it would be Dumbledore. Right?
I just picture Probst grabbing Matt Blankenship, like, did you put your vote in the goblet?
Did you put your dice in the urn? Did you put your dice in the urn?
Yeah. Jeff said calmly.
Yeah, right.
Did you take your shot in the dark with you?
It's like, you guys want to know what you're playing for? Oh boy.
Oh man.
Okay, number 4. Where it's 2-1 now. Number 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna roll with it. I think it's a typo. Angelica would have known what to do. I think they're trying to say Angelina.
Angelina.
Yeah.
All right, this is
Typos
circle
are-
jerk just
Typos
off the
happen.
typo.
Typos happen.
Oh my god.
Just
Okay.
off the typo. It's just circle jerk for me.
But it does say Angelica.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna say circle jerk too. That like it was a typo. Like you were saying it's a typo, but it was intentional.
They're
Okay.
memeing.
Yeah.
The answer is real. You're both
Oh.
wrong. It was
All right,
actually a
well, there
typo.
goes
And the
that
first one
strategy.
said was, sorry, I meant Angelina. It was a typo.
Why?
Well,
Isn't it better to just re-edit your post at that
I
point,
don't know if you can re-edit the topic title.
or just
Yeah,
delete
yeah,
and repost?
yeah.
Delete and repost, right. That's probably the way to
Yeah.
go.
well,
Yeah.
it depends on when you recognize it. If it's been up for a while, then yeah.
True.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
So this is going well.
Yeah, 2-1. I was going to have it be like you work together and you have to get like 8 out of the 15, but whatever.
This is better.
This is better. I think this is better.
Okay.
Okay, I know, right? We'll work on the format, you know. Number 5. Is Kane the biggest virgin to ever play Survivor?
Dude, I love Kane. I don't care what anybody says. I loved him in this episode being like, I'm a sloppy Sasquatch or whatever it was. What did he
You
say?
said
yeah.
it in the preseason. It has
I'm
not
like
come.
well, no, he said he was like Sasquatch. Do you say he was like a sloppy Sasquatch? I feel like the sloppy
I think
part
you
came
did,
into play in
yeah.
this oh, okay. Anyway.
And you
I
guys
love
have
it to
that,
death.
you and Mike with the Sasquatch watch, the walk.
Well, we talked about Sasquatch, but what's a
Right.
sloppy Sasquatch?
This
thing?
is
That's a different
too
thing.
mean. Although I say this is Reddit. It can be mean generally. This is mean. Why would you? I'm gonna go with the circle jerk.
I'm gonna go with the circle jerk as well.
You're both right. It was
Okay.
circle jerk. It was a little too on the nose, but I liked it. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, him being like, I feel like I'm in Dungeons and Dragons looking for magical objects. It's like, I think Kane likes Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
It's
I
come up
like
once.
Kane too. I had him in dead last in the preseason, and I feel so bad because I've really enjoyed him.
I've been thinking he's leaving the game for 5 weeks in a
I do
row.
too. It's weird.
He's just
I'm like, this
there.
is it. This is the he was immune. He's immune. I was
Yeah,
like one of the biggest surprises. Like, oh, Kane's not going anywhere. I'm like,
Yeah.
what if Franny gives up immunity though? Anyway. All right, number 6.
Okay.
Why does editing not know how to edit?
Why does editing not know how to edit?
Mm-hmm.
The edit isn't editing.
You know, the edit, it's just not editing.
Why does editing not know how to edit? They have one job.
They have one job to edit. Okay,
Yeah.
this sounds like something from the circle jerk. So I'm going to go with the circle jerk.
Okay.
I'm also, because this is Liana's turn to go first, strategically going to go with the circle jerk to maintain my lead.
Oh God, you're dick to not owing it up here, Big Brother 8. Okay, you're both right. It was circle jerk.
Yay!
Yes, I'm very smart.
You are very smart. That was a good strategy.
Thank you.
Maybe we have to have you guys reveal it at the same time.
Okay, yeah, that's better. Pooya.
Well, wow, we Julie chenning it now, Peridiam? This is what's happening?
It's an ever-evolving format, you know?
All right, fine.
Expect the unexpected. Number 7. Hot take. Contestants should not be allowed to watch the show.
This feels very parody, but I think that's because it's from the Survivor subreddit.
So Mike Bloom in his preseason interviews, he asks like, "Oh, what's your experience watching the show?" And I've always thought if I were on the show, what would my answer to that question be? And I think my answer would be like, "Oh, I've actually never seen it, but I've read the Wikipedia articles." That would be my answer to his question.
Menace.
Unrelated, but that was a thought that I've had, so I wanted to share it.
No, I appreciate it.
Okay, what'd you say, Pooya? You said the circle jerk? No, you said regular.
No, I said regular.
Okay. I'm going to. How many points am I behind?
You're
One.
by 1.
Okay, I'm going to say circle jerk then in an attempt to tie it.
Damn it.
That was a good attempt. It was circle jerk. Yes. That was not real.
Yes.
Okay.
Satire.
Yeah, see? Hot take. They shouldn't watch the show. Legit.
Number 8.
Okay.
My current feelings. A thread.
That's it?
That's it. That's all I got.
That's the tweet.
That's the topic title. Some of these are short and sweet. Some of them are
Yeah.
biggest version.
My current
My
feeling.
Okay, I'm
current
going to
feelings.
say real.
See, I also think that, so I'm going to say that.
Okay, final answer?
Yes.
Okay, you're both right. It was real.
Aha!
That was actually I think possibly the biggest one of the on Survivor subreddit was like this. They had like a couple hundred comments. My current feelings, lots of feelings going on. It was like a Dear Diary. So that's why it amused me. I was like, my current feelings, Dear Diary.
my Survivor diary.
Right. My public Survivor. These are my current feelings, just in general. Elated.
I laugh,
Depressed.
but that's what this is. The B&B is my Survivor journal.
Yeah, I mean, it's good stuff, you know. It's fun to just sit down and jot away. I got a diary. My birthday was yesterday. I got a diary for my birthday.
Your birthday was yesterday?
It was.
Happy belated
birthday.
birthday.
Yeah,
How do we
thank you,
not
yeah.
know?
I don't know.
This is your fault for not telling us
It's
your
probably
birthday.
my fault. Honestly, you
Yeah,
can gaslight me.
okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you for that, though.
You're welcome. Gosh, how rude.
I did get a diary from. It was more of a memorabilia thing than it was like an actual diary. But I got one. Speaking of diaries, super random.
Are you gonna write in it for? But you're
No, I'm not because it's already like basically written in. It's
It's a
It's more of-
memento.
yeah, it's a memento thing.
Gotcha.
It's from The Last of Us. I don't know if you played the second one.
Ah, okay. So not like the movie Memento.
But no,
Yeah.
Not a
not like
prop.
that at all.
Yeah,
No,
that'd
yeah.
be
It's more
good.
of a prop. I have it back there. So.
Okay, that's cool.
I guess, yeah. It's somewhat cool. It's cool. I like the game. Okay. Thank you guys for the belated birthdays.
Who
Also,
bought you this? And I hope they're not listening to this.
It was my wife.
You're like, it's fine. I like the show.
Carolyn, I thought it was very thoughtful.
So
It
thoughtful.
was. She did a good job. Usually she got me some practical gifts. I like them. I've already used 2 of them since yesterday. New flip-flops
Okay.
and a pair of shorts that I'm wearing right now.
Oh,
Wow.
look at you.
Good
Okay,
stuff.
okay.
This is quickly getting derailed, this whole game.
Is that going to be one of the topics? Did you guys see Peridiam's new flip-flops?
Yeah, that's it. I posted them on Instagram and they just popped off on Reddit, on the subreddit.
Yeah, it's popping
This
off.
is the circle jerk. Oh, God. Okay, number 9.
Yes.
Short and sweet. We're keeping it simple. Fire Jeff.
Ooh.
Fire Jeff.
You said keep it
Real.
simple.
Short
Oh,
and
you say
sweet.
real. I think it's a
Yes.
parody. If it's real, it's not this simple. It's going to be more layers. I think it's a circle jerk original.
Okay.
Okay.
That was real.
Yes.
Damn.
That was real. Yeah, that was a big
Okay.
one. I think that was one of the bigger ones that had a reaction. That was immediate. My feelings, fire Jeff, just one of those. So,
So did the
short and
Redditors
sweet.
agree?
Oh
Fire
yeah, a lot of
Jeff?
people. I think somebody had like a couple of paragraphs. So I was considering doing comments instead, but that would have taken a long time. But it was like Jeff Probst is not smart, and then it's like paragraphs.
Oh my god.
And I was like, oh my god, they're really coming for Jeff here.
Have they seen Jeff's what was it? It was his it was on his podcast, like the Behind the Fire or whatever it's called.
Oh,
What's
on
the Jeff-
fire,
On fire.
Yeah, On Fire.
Behind the fire.
I was thinking like
In the
between
fire.
two ferns, but between two fires. And I was like, I know that's not
Between two
right.
church torches. Yeah.
Yeah, but the whole one about like when his like what did he said in his like British accent or whatever. Anyway, he had a bunch of like weird ideas and concepts.
Oh yeah, with like the
Like-
Survivor trading post.
Yeah, exactly. And Rick
Oh,
Devens is
that
there
was
being like, I'm
wild.
the shopkeeper,
Bless
What is going on
Mike
in Jeff's head?
White.
right?
Bless Mike White for being the nope person in his life.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I'm like, don't.
Also,
do
does Rick
that.
consent to this? Would Rick do this? I feel like he could. I feel like there's a decent chance he might make that choice.
I
It's
think I could
possible.
see him doing it.
I could see him doing it. Okay. Number 10. We're sticking
Okay.
with the short and sweet. Survivor bad.
Okay,
That's it. That's it. Survivor bad.
Circle jerk.
Also gonna go with circle jerk.
Was Liana ahead, by the way? Was it six? Was
She's
it,
one ahead. She's one ahead right
You're,
now. Yeah.
you're saying circle jerk as well?
Yeah.
Circle jerk? Okay, yeah, you're both right. It was.
Yeah.
That was cut from a similar cloth as Fire Jeff.
Yeah.
Survivor
Because
bad.
it's funny because a lot of times, and this happens on all. So for like some Reddit subculture talk, this circle jerk concept happens in like a lot of different subreddit communities. So like I'm part of the skincare subreddit, and there's a skincare circle jerk
Oh my
subreddit
gosh.
that
Wow.
is like the same thing. So it's like, oh my god, I use this to like minimize my pores, and then there'll be a comment, there'll be a post on the circle jerk one that's like, destroy your pores with this, or like eliminate all face with this. And so they're usually like a parody of something that you see on the original Reddit
okay.
that then makes it to the subreddit. So it felt like that one was a parody version.
Yeah,
So
I did think that. I was like, this will probably be a layup because it's pretty easy to get.
Yeah.
Like Fire Jeff is a little bit up in the air, but yeah, the lack of like Survivor is bad or Survivor's
Survivor
become bad.
bad.
Just Survivor bad, right to the point. Why use many
bad.
words? You know,
when
few words
do fine. Yeah,
There
exactly.
you go. Number 11, Pooya is down. It's 6-7.
Okay.
Snap.
Can Chat GPT replace Jeff as executive producer, please?
This is 100% circle jerk.
Oh my god, I was gonna say real, but strategically I should say the same thing as you. Whatever. I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna say real.
This is real.
Damn it!
Yes!
This is a real thread, not a circle jerk one.
Oh my god.
I wonder what Jeff. So I've actually done a few. Like I just wanted to see what like the Chat GPT would come up with for like Survivor ideas. And honestly, they're a lot more tame than what we've seen so far.
Mm-hmm.
But you know,
Give him ideas.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, use it to like generate ideas, but I think you still need somebody to like
Fine tune them.
Yeah.
Okay, number 12. Jeff should be arrested and thrown into Gitmo, which is Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah. Not waterboarded though, not tortured.
I didn't go that deep. Not
Yeah.
yet.
All right,
Maybe in the-
Liana. For the excitement, you pick original. I'll pick circle jerk.
No, I'm gonna pick the circle jerk. Thank you very much. Don't try to get me.
Make it fun for the audience.
Try to
Make
get
it a
Mo.
competition. All right, I'm
No,
gonna pick
thank you.
circle jerk.
We still got a couple more questions. You're both picking. Yeah, it was circle jerk. That was both circle jerk.
Yeah.
Okay, number 13.
Okay.
After this episode, I am going to burn down Jeff Rivers' house.
Damn. Oh my god. Relax.
That's part is you don't know. That's that pause of like, is that real?
You saying
So-
this?
Like my takeaway, regardless, because the circle jerk is just a reflection of the real subreddit, is that people were definitely not happy about this episode.
No.
They
At
were
all
livid.
whatsoever.
They
at
were
least on
livid.
Reddit.
That's what that fervor inspired this game.
Yes, exactly. Oh boy. Okay, Pooya, what are you gonna say?
I do I have to go first?
Yeah.
All right. So can I hear it again?
After this episode, I'm going to burn down Jeff Prober's house.
Jeff Kroger?
No.
Who did
No,
you
it's not what I
say?
said. I said Jeff Prober's house.
Prober.
It was a typo, probably.
Circle jerk.
I was
All right.
gonna say circle jerk too.
You both saying circle jerk?
Just say original, Liana. Come on.
Fine, original. I'll say original.
No, but if this is original, I'm leaving the podcast.
It's probably over then, because the game would be like a 3-point gap at this point. But you're right, it was circle jerk. That's
There
not
we go.
real.
Thank you,
That's-
Liana.
You're welcome.
I did say his name pretty quickly so that you wouldn't catch on, because
Yeah. I
it's a
didn't
little
hear it the first
too
time.
obvious. Like, nobody's going to call him Jeff Prober, you know? But
Maybe.
at least, well, I mean, I guess anything could happen. They did compare him to Harry Potter, so, you know. That was not a joke. Okay. Number 14, and
Okay.
Liana's up by 1.
Okay. Whew.
Out of 14 out of 15, 2 left.
Okay.
Which former contestants should be forced to return against their will? Which former contestants should be forced to return against their will?
Okay, my first thought was not circle jerk or regular. I was just like, okay, who should be
Be forced to return against their
Who should
will.
it be?
Like Tony, get in the van.
Yeah, exactly. You're coming with us. All right, circle jerk.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same.
Okay. You're both right.
Okay, good.
Sounds about
I'd be
right.
a little terrified if it was real, although I am
Yeah.
still thinking of who I would pick.
Okay.
3, I think I would put
Yeah, who would
in the
who would,
van.
who would you
You
force?
must play.
Maybe first
Tyson,
boots?
I think I would take out there.
Force against their will?
Yeah.
I could see Tyson.
Yeah.
He'd go with it though. He'd probably enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. He'd appreciate
Okay.
that. Okay.
I think I've won.
Well, no, we have one question left.
Yeah,
I was hoping to.
Unless you're gonna, maybe Liana should go first because she's in the lead. I don't know.
she
All right,
should.
sure. Let's hear it.
Number 15, the last one. I'm enjoying Survivor for the first time in 15 years. I'm enjoying Survivor for the first time in 15 years.
Real.
For the sake of
Is that
the
is that what you
tie-
think? You think it's real?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
For the sake of the tie, I'm going
know.
to go with circle jerk just to stay in the game, maybe. We'll see.
What do you think? Do you hope it's real, or do you somebody's enjoyed it?
No, I mean, I'm trying to think.
Somebody's enjoying Survivor for the first time in 15. That's like Gabon.
Yeah.
That's like Gabon was the end.
Well, I didn't think they meant like literally 15
Okay.
years, like more just like generally in 15 years.
Okay. It is real. That's a real one. Liana won.
Ah, okay. So what was the
Oh.
context then, Mr. Gabon?
I think they said they had like watched sporadically, and they didn't. It was more of a hyperbolic comment title than it was like literal.
Yes.
So
okay.
I think they said like they're coming back into the show and they watched it 15 years ago, but it sounds like for the first time 15 years, like they've been watching it this whole time and they're now enjoying it.
They're
Like,
finally
this is
enjoy-
the
like, they
first time I've
finally
enjoyed
came
it
around.
since Sonia Christopher got voted off. They finally started
I stopped
enjoying
watching.
Survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
so
came back around.
there you go.
Okay. Well, in summation, I won. Good job, me.
Good job. Yeah, and you got the thing over Mike Bloom earlier.
I did.
You know, Liana did the classic Liana where she's losing at the beginning and she's like, oh, then, maybe this game's stupid anyway. I'm not going to win, whatever. And then wins and is like, oh, well, I won. So, and then
That's what you want, though. This is like the Big Brother Final 3. Like, you want the person at the beginning to come back. It was good TV. I think the audience enjoyed the comeback.
Everyone but me loved it.
Yeah.
If you're me, you're not living right now. Everyone else, living.
Livin'. Well, Cody's tattoo aside, Pooya, you're going to get another opportunity to compete. Let's see if you can win this one. So you may not have been tapped into the Reddit of it all, but let's see if you can get the Facebook of it all, because we are going to our classic game, Casuals Corner, where, Peridiam, I know you say that you don't frequent the Facebook, but maybe you should start doing it. It could give you a leg up here, because I've taken comments from the Survivor Facebook page, and we're going to play this game in sort of 2 parts. The first, I'm going to read you 2 comments, and you're going to have to guess which one has more likes to try to get a general sense of where the Facebook casuals are feeling about this episode. And then we'll go into our classic format where I read 4 comments, 3 are real, 1 is fake.
Okay.
So let's kick things off with the first part of our game. Pooya, we're going to go to you. And this question is all about the direction that Survivor has taken. Okay. So I'm going to read you 2 comments. Which one got more likes? Okay. Is it comment A? I'm really enjoying the shows this season, and I like most of the players. The birdcage idea was great. I really like the new twists too. It keeps the show fresh. Or B, I thought it was about earning everything, Jeff, not just pure luck. Survivor is becoming a game show more and more.
All right.
It's like it is, but okay.
So I've avoided going on the Facebook group to, you know, peek at the casuals the last couple weeks because I knew this episode was coming up. So my thought is a little inside baseball. When I said I really wondered what people thought, Liana was like, oh, you know, I went pretty deep, so I don't think you'd find what I've said. So I don't know if this is from this week or this from like a week ago.
These are all posts from this week.
From this week?
Yes.
Okay, then it's easily B. Final answer.
So that is correct, but it's close.
How
so
close?
They were only separated by 5 likes.
What?
So there were, and by the way, I don't know. I've seen less engagement this season. Like most seasons, there's comments that have like 300, 400 likes. The one that had the most was maybe like 60. So here it was 18 to 32. I don't know what that says, but that was something else that I'd noticed.
They're too busy watching. They're too busy watching. That's the ratings are going up every week.
They're just loving it so much.
They're engaged.
To me, when I read the comments, it definitely felt like a mixed bag because there were totally people who are on this. I love these new twists. This is super fun, similar to maybe Peridiam, what you see with the YouTube audience.
Yeah.
And then there was also the flip side, more of the Reddit feeling, which was there were some other comments, you know, too many luck-based twists, subverting the strategy of playing Survivor, that are kind of coming at it from that angle. So it felt like a mixed bag. But yes, Pooya, you were correct. The sort of
course I was.
More critical side had more likes. All right, Peridiam, let's continue on this note. The direction Survivor has taken. Which comment got more likes? I really enjoyed last night, but do wish they would have a reward and a immunity challenge. Way too much talking. Or B, a friend put it best, ... The game is now playing the game and not the players. It's so sad how far Survivor has strayed from its roots.
Damn.
I mean, that's like complaining about the challenges is a very enticing bait for Facebook casuals, I feel like.
A little farming.
Yeah, you know, like I really wish there were more challenges and they were really cool. And could they bring back the auction? That's all I'm asking. And 39 days. And leave
Boston
Fiji.
Rob, too. That's
and
fun.
bring back Boston Rob. Maybe Boston Rob. Or at least all of my favorites.
Right.
Leave a like to the left. Okay. I mean, I almost want to go with the same logic as Pooya just because it feels like, you know, the negative sentiment. And I would agree. I'll just shake it up and say the first one.
So that is correct.
Oh, cool.
Yes, the more challenges is always gets a good like, right? So while the pro and con of the twists is polarizing, more challenges, always a thumbs up, it feels like from the Facebook page.
Yes.
All right. So now, Pooya, let's change things. Let's talk a little bit about Frankenship, okay? Everyone's favorite couple. I'm going to give you 2 polarizing opinions on them. Let's see which one you think got more likes. Is it A, break up the lovebirds tonight? Or B, I like the lovebirds. I think they are cute. Glad they made it to the jury together.
Okay. A, break up the lovebirds tonight. This is right before the episode, probably. Or B, I'm rooting for those kids. Okay. Now, the question becomes not which one I think has the more likes. The question becomes, is Facebook a loving place? Are they pro-love? Do they love and hate? It's gonna be Oh, I think these two are going against the grain. I'm an optimist. I'm a lover. I'm gonna go with B. They love love.
That is correct.
Yeah.
They do love love.
Hey, look at that.
They love the couple in general. So that one
knew
got
it.
49 likes.
Nice.
There were technically 12 likes to the Break Up the Lovebirds, but technically 28 reacts because there were some sad crying emojis and there were some angry emojis, which was very funny. So it was interesting to see there was both a negative response to the negative comment. But one other thing that the casuals like is they like Carolyn. And that was something that I saw at the very beginning of the season. But do they like Carolyn or Frankenship more? Peridiam, that is what your question is all about. So comment A is, I love these two together, ... Both are funny, silly, sweet people, ... I've never rooted for a couple so much in my life, lol, ... Or B, I love this season, Team Carolyn. ...
No.
No ...
No dots? All
No
right,
dots
wow.
in that one.
I love this season, Team Carolyn.
Mm-hmm.
And these are both after the episode.
Yes.
After the episode? Because it sounded like the other one was technically right before it.
Well,
Maybe
they were.
it's similar, same day.
The problem is like sometimes they comment on the post. So
Oh, okay.
okay,
They'll comment
it was
after the
post
fact.
after
After
the
the-
episode, but sometimes they still comment like not
Having watched it,
Present.
maybe?
having watched it. I
Maybe
guess,
they're in
but
like
these,
Fiji's time zone. You
these
never
were
know.
not like a week ago. These comments were made within the last like 24 to 48 hours.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll say Team Carolyn because I should.
By one.
By one like?
Wow.
Oh, yeah, go
They
Carolyn.
were Team Carolyn. Yes, that was a close one. Although a lot of love for Frankenship, the couple still survives. But
Wow, we're
we'll
getting
see.
Facebook better than we are Reddit.
I know.
Wild.
That's
wild
better at
stuff.
that thing.
Wow, interesting.
Okay, well, let's switch gears a little bit and let's go to our other format for questions where I am going to read you 4 comments. 3 are real, 1 is fake. I made it up. Pooya, we're going to stick with the couple here talking about Frankenship.
Cool.
Here are your 4 comments. A, my fave part of this season is watching what I believe love happen between Franny and Matt. B, I am sad that Matt leaves Franny all alone. I wish she'd saved him. C, Franny sure dropped the ball by not dropping the ball. Laugh emoji. Or D, too bad Franny didn't bring Matt's sack to tribal.
Okay. So one of them is you.
One of them I wrote.
You
yes.
reek of C. C is you. C is easily you. So that's not it. That's not it. That's you all over it. So am I picking the one that's you?
You're picking the one that's me.
Okay,
yes.
it's C.
What if you're wrong?
You're
I'm not.
wrong. That
Oh!
one's real. I was so impressed. I was like, yes, Franny dropped the ball by not dropping the ball. I was obsessed with that comment. No, I wrote, I am sad that Matt leaves Franny all alone. B, that was the one that I wrote.
Oh, wow.
So generic.
Yeah, I was thinking dropping balls and sacks and
Yeah.
God knows what.
Yeah, for
liked
me it was
ya.
C or D. But
Yeah, I was
Franny
distracted. All right.
Bring Matt's sack to tribal. Okay, well, Peridiam, you have an opportunity to take the lead here, and we are sticking with
man.
the couple. Believe me, a lot of comments about the Frankenship of it all.
They're
So
very
here-
potent. I said this. They're very potent. People like
Agreed.
them. Yeah.
Well, let's mix together 4 potions and see which one is fake. Is
Professor
it
Snape.
A? Glad Matt left. He needs time away from Franny.
oh.
B.
Wow.
Franny wasn't that into him. Shrug emoji. C. I, for one, am happy with this boot. I don't watch this show for snugglepusses.
Is that a creature in Harry Potter? What's going on here?
You're a snuggle puss, Harry.
D. I'm so glad Matt got voted out. I'm rejoicing. I know I sound like an evil villain, but I kept rewinding it to see Franny's reaction when she realized Matt got voted out. Boo hoo hoo.
Oh my God. That last one is quite okay. What was the first one? That was the one that I don't remember very well.
Glad Matt left. He needs time away from Franny.
I'm gonna say you said that A.
I wrote C.
Oh, okay.
I don't watch
Remind us
this
what
show
C
for
was?
Snugglepuss.
Snugglepusses. I just was like, I'm gonna take the boring one, and of course it was.
Okay. Well, we're all tied up here 2-2. So as you can tell, not everybody was super crazy about the couple. And some other people had some thoughts on that, Pooya. So let's go to you.
Okay.
A, sad that Matt is gone, but then again, it's not a hookup show. It's Survivor. Glad he's a juror, though. B, bye-bye, Matt. Go play Love Connection because the rest of them actually want to play Survivor. C, it's Survivor, not Love Island, buckle boy. Boo-hoo-hoo. It's Survivor, not the dating game. It's for $1 million. Jeez.
Okay. This category is name a love shows. Okay. So Buckle Boy.
Yeah.
Snugglepuss.
What was the thing you wrote in the previous one? The
Snugglepusses.
See, this is you trying to play 4D chess.
Uh-huh.
You put that, and then you put Buckle Boy, and then you think I'm gonna pick Buckle Boy. This boy is not gonna buckle, ma'am.
Okay.
I think you put B.
Okay, go play Love Connection because the rest of them actually want to play Survivor. Well, you're looking like a real buckle boy right now because that was the one that I wrote.
Oh,
Aye!
All right, let's move on from
Buckle
Buckle
Boy.
Boy to another Buckle Boy, I guess. I don't know. These are all about Kane. We're
Buckle Boy, B&B. We're at the Buckle and Boy.
Yeah.
Buckle and the Boy. Yeah. I loved that book when I was a kid. Okay, so all about Kane. Peridiam, let's talk Kane. A, I like Kane. He is laying low, but contributing big in challenges. I hope they don't vote him out anytime soon. B, that was a great statement Kane made at Tribal. C, Kane has some good alliances. He's an inactive type survivor and is like a submarine. Parentheses, run deep and run quiet. Or D, Kane is a strong player and he could win from behind.
Oh my god, I can't believe they're all real.
I know, they're all
Or
I
three
didn't
of them.
actually
Three of
write
them are
any
real.
of these.
I can't believe 3 of them are 75% of those are real. Because I'm like, what did he do in the challenge? He didn't win. I don't. What did he say at Tribal Council? Did he even talk? I don't think he could.
I don't know. This could have been maybe from like last week. I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, you know,
Right.
sometimes they're just
Yeah.
commenting. So
We need an answer, Buckle
I'm
Boy.
gonna say I'm gonna say A.
okay, A, I like Kane, laying low, contributing big in challenges. No, I said D. Kane is a strong player and he could win from behind.
Wow, there you go.
So why did you go generic on the first one and then you went OTT on everything else?
That's the 4D chess, Pooya. Play the game. Come
Ooh,
on.
your chess is broken.
All right, whatever, Buckle Boy. All right, we're sticking with Kane. Kane part 2. Comment A. Let's go, Canadian Kane. D. He is perfect. Thumbs up emoji. To stay on the show. I like Kane. C. The D&D references from Kane are the worst in-game sponsor spots since Jack and Jill. Or D. Kane is my fave. He is my wizard.
Okay, so C isn't you because I don't think you would have remembered Jack and Jill, and I don't blame you.
How dare you?
I don't blame. That's not. Oh, you insulted that you don't remember Jack and Jill.
I remember it quite clearly. That Gulliver's
Sorry
Travels.
for you. I think. Okay, so can you repeat A, B, and D, please?
Yes. So A is let's go Canadian Kane. And by the way, that's in all caps.
Oh, thank you.
B, he is perfect. Thumbs up emoji. To stay on the show. I like Kane. And D is Kane is my fave. He is my wizard.
I'm gonna go with D.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say he's not going to be the biggest virgin ever, but then I'm like, no, this is probably fake.
He
This
is
isn't
my
real.
wizard.
He is my favorite virgin. Okay. So sometimes the casuals like to comment and they just pick random names for people.
Oh,
so
no.
let's see, Peridiam, if you can guess in the category I like to call who? A. Napoleon Dynamite needs to go. B. Should have voted out carrot emoji, carrot top. C. It's Dwight from The Office. Or D. Am I the only one who thinks he looks like Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys? So, Peridiam, you don't have to guess who they're talking about, but you do need to guess which one is fake.
I'm going to say Carrot Top because that's a bit of a pull. Is Carrot Top fake? No, it's real?
It's not. They're out there pulling carrots and carrot
my
emojis.
gosh.
No, I wrote Napoleon Dynamite needs to go.
Okay. Honestly, he does kind of look like it a little.
Who?
Kane, right?
Looks like who?
Like Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite? Kind of with the
Carson might
hair?
look more like Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay,
He's
he
like
look-
tall and he's sloppy and I don't know.
Okay, so I also assumed that all three, I guess, technically, of these comments were all about Kane. Dwight from The Office? Because who else would that be if not Kane?
Yeah, I thought that was all. I think they were all kind of Kane.
Okay, yeah, I
for
thought
the
so
most
too.
part.
But you
Although I don't know
never
the last. I'm not sure about the last one. I don't know.
Bubbles is Kane because Bubbles
Is it
was
Kane? Okay.
Canadian.
They all
Yeah,
kinda
Yeah,
Bubbles
look
is
Canadian.
Canadian.
also that too.
Yeah.
All right, Pooya, we're sticking with the who.
Who?
We're going to change things up a little bit. All right. I
Ooh.
don't think any of these are about Kane based on
Okay.
context.
Cool.
Okay. A. Thank God that dweeb finally got voted out. He
What were they talking
epitomizes the word cringe.
God.
God.
B. I love me some yucca yucca. I hope he wins. Celebration emoji, like the one with the hat and the little
Mm-hmm.
the thing. C. Peanut butter keeps escaping by the skin of his teeth. Or D. I've grown quite tired of sweet potato, sweet potato. I hope he goes next.
Are they just all about Jam Jam?
Well, except for the dweeb that finally got voted out who epitomizes the word cringe. That's
Yeah.
I believe.
So wait, so are they doing a thing where they're just repeating different food items twice to be like, oh, yam yam, aka this and this?
It took me a long time to
I
figure
didn't
it
get
out.
that. I was just like, are these people insane?
Okay, so let me reread. Okay, so first of all, we had A. Thank God that dweeb finally got voted out. Epitomizes the word cringe. B. I love me some yucca yucca. I hope he wins. Celebration emoji. C. Peanut butter keeps escaping by the skin of his teeth. Or D. I've grown quite tired of sweet potato, sweet potato. I hope he goes next.
Okay. So one of these is you, right?
Well, I don't know. It could be A.
I don't know what a yucca yucca is. But I feel like the person who says sweet potato, I feel like peanut butter, that's too much. I think you're peanut butter.
Well, I wish you knew what a yucca was because I love me some yucca yucca.
What's a yucca?
What is that?
It's a plant.
Is
It's
it?
like a root.
Oh.
It's like a root.
Oh my God.
Oh, I see it. All right.
I was
Googled
gonna
that.
go with yogurt, but I thought that you might guess that was me because I eat a lot of yogurt.
That'd be very bait.
If I knew a yucca was a real thing and not just like a made up word, I would consider picking that too. So
Well, I googled foods that start with Y. Because I wanted something that was similar
See,
to
I
Jam
thought I
Jam.
also like Peridiam thought that was something fake, so I didn't
Oh.
bother.
yeah,
with
like a
Oh.
typo or I don't know.
it. Yeah.
No, yucca is a food. It's real.
Okay.
All right. Well, Pooya, you're still up by 3. It's currently 3
Oh.
to
Up by
2.
one? Up by one. Oh, okay.
Up by one. Up by one.
Right,
Sorry,
right.
you're up by 1. 3
Hey, you
points,
can't change the
2
points now. I was up by 3 like a
No,
second
no,
ago.
I'm not Jordan Kalish. I have it written down correctly. But Peridiam, you have an opportunity to get a point here and tie things up. So
Ooh.
another thing that I didn't notice when I was watching the episode, but apparently was a big deal, was the volume of the background music. There were at least 15 comments about the background
What?
music. So I
Hmm.
cherry picked 3 of them, and one of them I wrote. Let's see if you can guess which one.
Okay.
A. What the hell is up with the loud background music? ... Can barely hear that chatter. Grr. B. Turn down the music. C.
Grr.
No grr. C. Music too loud. I turned my volume all the way up to 46 and I can't hear the voices. Or D. This season, too much background music. Sometimes you can't even hear what is being said. I'm a fan from the very beginning. ...
Have to flex that at the end.
It just feels like I'm listening in on like a script of like those town hall meetings on Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
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 It's like reading. It's like hearing you read them out loud. I'm like, God. This is so bad.
Well.
And 3 of them are real. Oh boy, no yucky yuckas in this one.
No yucca.
I like the 46. You know, like that's relative, and we have no concept of what it means, and it's kind of clever. And I almost hope that you wrote it because but it's too easy from a game perspective. I want to pick it, right? But then, of course, you might be big braining this. I'm thinking through it like Pooya. You know, he's like, how do you metagame the host? What was A?
What the hell is up with the loud background music? ... Can barely hear that chatter. Grr.
Okay. Do that one more time. I'm kidding. Okay. And B was what was B one more time?
Turn down the music.
Grr.
Grr. No grr.
Turn down the music. I will say that because it's boring.
You should have gone with your initial gut.
46?
46.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought somebody would probably post that thinking like, yeah, we all know it's 46.
Yeah.
That would blow my eardrums with my TV. So I don't know. I'm at like a 15. I'm around 15 for me.
15.
That's my TV. It's a 15, maybe a 20 at max.
20 max.
Yeah,
20 max. Yeah.
20 max.
Okay. We're down to our last 2 questions. Pooya can clinch the win here if he can get this one correct. Pooya, let's see what you got. So, we talk about eras on Survivor. We're in our new school era. This is our random era, okay? Potpourri type comments.
Oh,
let's see what you
no.
got.
Okay.
A. We need Redemption Island.
Okay.
B. Survivor worse than an MLM. C. Yesterday is different from tomorrow. Or D. Jeff, you pick up Franny, head home, 8 o'clock Wednesday, back home.
Oh my God. Oh no.
Do you need me to read them again?
Yes. Especially D.
We need Redemption Island. B. Survivor worse than an MLM. C. Yesterday is different from tomorrow. Or D. Jeff, you pick up Franny, head home, 8 o'clock Wednesday, back home.
Okay, so I'm not picking D, but in the event that D is correct, I'm gonna help you out. I think you're something's wrong with you. Something happened. I need to check up on you. I'm gonna go with B as you.
Yes.
For the win.
But to be fair, I was inspired by Survivor is a scam, which was a real comment.
Survivor is a scam.
Yes, I have no idea what that was about.
Interesting.
Okay, well, Peridiam, technically you're eliminated from the competition.
Technically. Only the best kind.
Chance.
Okay.
Point. We're sticking with our random era. Here are your 4
All right, let's go.
comments. A. Rupert was the best so far. B. Danny. C. Grr.
A lot of gurs here. Okay.
Or D. Next time, they should put a bird in the birdcage idol, and then the bird is the immunity idol. So then they have to play a bird at tribal as an idol.
Not gonna lie, I got lucky because this question is
so
wilder
random
than mine.
This is incredibly
way
random.
Yeah.
So we have Rupert, something about Rupert being the best.
Rupert was about so far.
Danny, Gur.
Yep.
and then a long thing about a diatribe about birds in cages being idols.
Correct. Yes.
I'm just gonna keep my strategy. It's already lost me the game, so why not? I'm gonna say, oh god, it's between two of them. I'm gonna say these are just comments people left, like
Yes.
randomly is there context? Why would you just say Danny?
No. I'm telling you, that's why there was no it was not like replying to another
Yeah,
comment.
okay. I'm gonna say Gurr.
Okay, yes. Unfortunately, that was a real comment.
Was
Someone
it Danny?
just wrote,
Was Danny yours?
Nope, Danny was real. Yeah, I wrote the diatribe about the bird and the bird
Okay.
cage idol.
That was my gut, but I decided to go against it. Oh well.
I actually, once I wrote it, I was like, this is stupid, and then I kind of loved it. I was like, could you imagine Carson with like a bird, like a parakeet on his finger, being like, Jeff, I'd like to play this.
Oh, it's the way Omer would be fuming that he's not on this season.
I'm thinking it's like Job with the rest of development, where he like accidentally kills a dove in the bag, and he's like, "Is this still valid?"
Yeah, I deserve a full refund.
Can you check to make sure this is okay? Does it have to be alive, Jeff?
My dead pigeon. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the other comments that I didn't put in as a question, but I just really liked was, you guys are handing out immunity like they were participation ribbons. Ribbon emoji. Yeah. If I can offer some constructive criticism, never do that again. Which I actually kind of love as an idea of like, yeah, if I can offer you some constructive criticism, never do that again.
Don't do it.
Criticism, how dare you?
Yeah.
First, how dare you?
Right.
Oh boy. Okay, well, you
stuff.
both started off strong and then quickly devolved.
How dare you? I got my last one right.
I know you did a great job.
Yeah. And
Yes.
Pooya did win. Liana beat Pooya. Pooya beat me.
Yes.
But I'm the true winner because I got to come on the B&P.
That's
the
right.
P&B.
Man, Peridiam, the only thing that I'm upset about is that I forgot your birthday and I didn't get to send you a journal from The Last of Us myself.
Oh, you know
Same.
what? We'll wait.
I wrote
Wait
it
for the
down.
third one. There's a part 3 coming out. You can get it
You
then.
got it. Okay.
Give it 5 years from now.
Okay. That sounds good. We'll get you so many. Just
All the
wait.
journals
All the
that I won't be
journals.
writing in. My current feelings on Survivor.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see
I'll
it.
just write Danny over and
Danny.
over.
Grr. A lot of
Grr,
grr.
Danny.
Yes. And complain about the music. That also key thing to go
I
with.
mean, honestly, 46 is pretty loud, so I don't know. That's
There you go.
me.
It's quite loud. I mean, for your TV, it's quite loud.
What do you guys do? What's your TV? Is it too loud?
No, I think
46 is.
our TV's at like 20. Well,
28.
the problem is like the commercials are so loud.
That's
and
true. You
the
have to.
show is
We
more
mute the
quiet.
commercial. We'll just mute it though.
Yeah, we just turn the volume down.
Well, it's weird. Our TV doesn't have a mute button.
It
Oh,
doesn't have a mute button. The remote.
are you sure it's a
doesn't have mute
TV?
Yeah,
What?
It's a smart TV, but
I've never
it's pretty
heard of
dumb.
that.
You
Yeah,
said
button.
that's
Yeah, it's weird.
that's weird. Is it like
It's
Yeah.
really weird.
what is it? Sony? Like what is that?
It's,
Is it an anomaly? It's like a collector's edition. Like that's a rare one.
imagine, yeah.
Mute.
And no mute button. What are they
It's a
thinking? there?
collectible because it came without a mute button. It's factory
That's like we're gonna
defective.
create. It's like a survivorism. We're gonna create the problem and then we'll solve it in the next one.
Mhm. Yeah, they'll figure it out.
You can't mute. Now there's a mute. Oh, finally we've streets ahead.
Streets at. Well, you are two people that I would never want to put on mute. But unfortunately, we have come to the end of our podcast here today. As we end the show, we love to close things out with a charity or a cause. I know there's a lot of frustration about Survivor from particularly Reddit, maybe not so much from Facebook, but people are feeling a lot of things. If you want to channel that anger into doing some good in the world, Peridiam, do you have a charity that you would like to shout out and plug for our listeners?
Okay, so I put together a GoFundMe page to fix Survivor. I'll send
Oh,
the
good.
link. No.
Yes, to
I
fire
do.
Jeff, actually, to put him
It's
in
a
Guantanamo.
change.org link. You guys
Yeah.
pass it around. It's like an MLM if everyone signs it. Anyway. Yeah, I always say the same one every time, but it's the one that I've actually contributed to. So I feel like it means something. It's the SPCA, or the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty of Animals. I am a big fan of adopting, not shopping. If you can, obviously within reason. I hope you don't. But yeah, I worked at one before. I did YouTube, and yeah, I adopted my cat. She's like basically like the only family member other than Carolyn, and we love her dearly.
Oh,
She's fantastic, and she's not here, but she's usually jumping around somewhere. But yeah, that's what I would recommend checking out because I've always loved animals since I was a kid. I remember finding like a frog in the pond in front of my house, and it was cold, and I didn't know what to do, so I kept it for this winter and then released it in the spring. But then it came back on the doorstep. It was so weird. And I was like, actually wanted to just come back. So we kept it. We did eventually release it later. I mean, I was a kid, so I didn't know what I was doing, but it was great. We kept it alive. It ended up, living in the pond in the front of our house. And it was really cool. And from that point forward, I was like, oh, I love animals. I always loved otters. I had like an otter beanie baby. I don't know. I had an affinity for animals. I've always had it. I'm pretty good with them. I like to think I am. And so I would say, if you can, check out the SPCA. They're all over the country.
Okay, great. I would recommend not adopting otters.
Don't do that. There are definitely some animals within reason. You love them. Buy the Beanie Baby version.
Right.
That would definitely not be. That would be pretty cruel. You don't want to take care of an otter. High maintenance animal. There's some animals you see on like YouTube. You're like, wow, that seems really cool. And you're like, yeah, on second thought. But a lot of people actually do not think on that second thought. And they will go out and pursue getting an animal, realizing they can't afford it, they can't take care of it. And then they end up in the shelters that I was working at. And it's like, why are they here? Like my cat, I adopted her. The reason was because the owner just couldn't take care of her. I think she had too many cats. I don't know. Maybe they were taking her in. You would think they would have written down like fostering cat, but they didn't. They're just like too many cats. It's like, okay, I don't know. Anyway.
Yes, just like Survivor, too many twists.
Too many twists.
Too
much. Just let us breathe. Let the cat breathe.
Oh, I did see. Well, first, so check out the SPCA. We'll have the information in the show notes. I did see on the speaking of Survivor Reddit the papaya that Matt had when it gets sent to Ghost Island, and then you have to reverse the curse of the papaya. I'm actually kind of stoked for that. So I was gonna say no more twists, but look,
Ghost Island 2.
Yes, for Ghost
Papaya
Island 2,
Boogaloo.
Ghost Islanding. Okay,
Yeah.
well, Peridiam, thank you so much for joining us today. This was so nice to get your thoughts, and nice knowing that we're going to hear more of those thoughts on your video about this episode. So where can people catch up with you, either on social media, now that you're done with your break from social media about this
I still
episode?
haven't tweeted as much, but you can find me on YouTube, where I'm always at every Wednesday talking about Survivor with some random video. This coming one is going to be about this episode we're talking about. But after that, got a whole queue, a whole conveyor belt of Survivor videos ready to go. And then of course I'll switch to Big Brother in the summer, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'm also on Twitter at my real name, Billy Geis. But I don't tweet as often. I want to say though, this is super random. I did this like Smash Bros montage of all the Survivor players.
I saw that, yeah.
And I had a lot of fun with it. It was originally just like a random thumbnail for the video with Sari with Bad Luck. But I put it together at the last minute. And then I thought, I had another one in the future. So I made one for Woo. And then I ended up saying, let's round it out with a good 4. Let's make it like the 4 colors, like red, yellow, whatever. So I did 2 more. And then I ended up saying, let's just do 16, like have like a whole collage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, people are going to love it. It looked really cool. I liked I was pleased with the outcome. And then I was like, I did forget some people. So in my downtime, I have been working to do more of these. And these are all thumbnails that I don't plan on using. But I want to say, like, if you're listening this deep into the podcast, you're going to get the heads up, because at some point, and I don't know how to gauge how long this is going to take, I'm putting together a massive collage, and I'm doing 144 of them.
Oh my God.
144. So I'm doing 144. These are thumbnails. I estimated it. I can handle it on my computer, but it's 15,000 by 9,000 pixels.
Oh my God.
And it works. And this is what I do for a living. And I like to talk about it to lots of people.
Do you use all 3 of your monitors to look at them?
Probably. No, for the whole thing, it'll fit on one. It's proportionate.
Okay. Yeah,
I had to,
okay.
So the numbers are like, because it's 6 by 6, all the way across, or 12 by 12, 144. It's proportioned to fit.
I see.
But I figured I'd let you guys know that's what I'm up to. So, in
Yeah,
case
that's
you're
good.
like, if you don't see me tweeting or anything, it's probably because I'm sitting there making 144
Is he
thumbnails.
making your Smash wallpaper?
It's fun. Honestly, I'm like, I want to do this because if somebody else thinks to do this first, I want to do the first Coach and the first Angelina and the first,
Right, you
whatever.
want the first stab at
I
it.
want it and it looks cool, so I'm just going to do it.
Okay, great. Well, we'll let you go to continue making all of your thumbnails.
Legitimately, I probably will start doing it tonight. So
The massive image that we have to look forward to. Pooya, what about you? What are you up to? Where can people find you on social media?
People can find me on Twitter at Pooyaism, on Twitch, twitch.tv/Pooya. I do some stuff there. Come through, say hi, would appreciate it. And then you can find me on youtube.com/Pooyaism as well. I'm working on, a couple little things over there. You can check those out. But if you would like to stick to the original Pooya format, which is podcast, you can find me talking 90 Day Fiance. I had Brian Scally on with me this week. I have Sasha Joseph on with me next week. Matt Singer, Liana, and I got to talk some more about. We have now seen all the costumes at least one time. We're about to get into the next round, so that'll be fun to follow up with. And check out Bel Air with myself and Chappelle on Post Show Recaps, where we talk about, of course, the lovely show that is Bel Air. And if you're watching Big Brother Canada, find me there on Fridays talking about, you guessed it, Big Brother Canada.
Yes.
Liana, thank you for having me. Good time, as
Our
always.
fancy feast. Yes, of course, Pooya. Okay, bye. All right. So that does it for us this week. Next week, we're going to be back. Mike will be in studio with me to talk with the aforementioned, who would absolutely love if there were bird idols, real bird idols on the season. Omer from season 42 is going to be here to help us talk about potentially the first actual merge vote. I don't know. We'll see what happens in episode 8. So we'll check you out at your next. Wait, no. Okay, hold on. Wait, I got to do my plugs. Hold on. I'm not used to the end of this. I'm like, what do I do again? So you can find this podcast and others on the RHAPwebsite.com/RHAPUpsFeed, as well as the Survivor only feed for anything Survivor on RHAP. And thank you to the whole RHAP team for their help behind the scenes. Will from America for your theme song music that is just oh so catchy. And we'll check you out at your next day.